Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mack with your daily comedy news. I'm on Billboard.com. They put out a list, the 25 best stand-up comedians of the 21st century so far, numbers 25 to 16. I have not looked at this yet. When I do these lists, I like to react to them cold. This one was published in early December. I'm scrolling down now, and the first picture I'm seeing is of Sara Silverman. Is she number 25? This list. There's no way I'm going to look at this list and be like, oh, that was a good list, right? Well, let's see. They write, as the first quarter of the 21st century comes to an end, Billboard set out to determine the best of the A-list, the top 25 stand-up comics of the last 25 years. To come up with these rankings, we pulled experts. All right, who are the experts? The panel consists of William Burdett Coutts, who heads the assembly venues at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Okay, seems reasonable. Michael Cox, who books stand-up for The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. That seems reasonable. Adam Egett, a booker at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas. All right, that seems reasonable, too. That means we're not going to ignore the bro dudes, because you could get really uppity on this. Bruce Hills, a friend of mine, he, for 36 years, ran Montreal's Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. That's good. Caroline Hirsch, founder of Caroline's Comedy Club, and she runs the New York Comedy Festival. The Mazzilli brothers, I know Chris Mazzilli, they own the Gotham in Manhattan. These are good people. All right, so before I even look at this list, these are people that know what they're talking about. Like I always say, I know more about comedy than, say, 98, 99% of the general population just because of what I have done for a living these past 25 years. But everyone I just named knows more about it than I do. So I am not at all claiming to be like the expert. The way I phrase it is, if we're in a bar, I'm probably the expert. But if Chris Mazzilli's there, Caroline Hirsch is there, a booker from The Tonight Show, Bruce Hills, oh, yeah, they blow me away. Absolutely, 100%. This is great. Let's see who else. Patrick Milligan, who is the booker for The Stand in New York City. Susan Provin, the director of the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And Samantha Schlez, director of the South by Southwest Festival. Okay, I really like who they asked here. So before I even look at this list, and I haven't looked at it all, I respect these people. So hopefully this is a fantastic list. Billboard explains the process began with the panel helping put together a ballot of more than 150 nominees. The talent pool was limited to comedians with active stand-up careers over the last 25 years, as opposed to sketch, sitcom, film, or improv performers, such as the cast of SNL or Second City or UCB. Overseas comedians with a presence in the U.S. were also considered. From there, judges ranked their top 25. Voting was anonymous. There was a weighted system to determine the top 25. Today, we will take a look at numbers 25 through 16. They have at number 25, Jon Stewart. Okay, interesting. He's not. He's just not. Is he one of the top 4 comedic TV personalities of the century? Absolutely. If we start some sort of Hall of Fame, should Jon Stewart be in it? Absolutely. First ballot. But stand-up? That seems insane. Billboard explains Stewart began as a stand-up. Yeah, sure. His muscular sets, like his anchor job, often deal with the political and cultural state of the country, and they still kill. This year he toured with Pete Davidson and John Mulaney. See, which is, again, and I host this thing every day. I forgot that that's even a thing. Maybe Jon Stewart is out there quietly killing again. I respect the hell out of this panel. I'm not here to dump on this list. But Jon Stewart at 25? Yeah. Okay. 24, Billy Connolly. Now, some of you are going to be like, what is this list? Whatever. But I appreciate that this list has a worldview here. I personally really don't connect with Billy's material, but, I wouldn't throw you off the bus for saying that one. Number 23, Trevor Noah. Okay, so John's going to struggle here because Trevor Noah, also best known for hosting The Daily Show, but I was into Trevor Noah before he hosted The Daily Show because he was a really good stand-up. I personally like Trevor a lot. He's got a lot to say. So, yeah, all right, really interesting list so far. Okay. 22, Jim Gaffigan. That seems low to me. Like, who else is going to be on this list that Gaffigan is only coming in at 22? I give him a lot of guff on the show for the bourbon stuff, and, maybe he didn't call people back who helped him early in their career. But 22 seems really low for Jim Gaffigan. 21, Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias. Now, so here, let me scroll back up to the top. So this is the 25 best stand-up comedians. Now, Gabe, really nice guy. I've worked with him. He will call you back. sells out stadiums, huge. But is he a better stand-up than Jim Gaffigan? I don't know. No. You know, let's say the bad guys are gonna, hurt you, and you got to pick a stand-up comedian to save your life, and they got to make them laugh. You're gonna go with Gabe or Jim? Actually, maybe with the bad guys, maybe Gabe's style of humor would work better with the bad guys. I guess it depends on who the bad guys are, but that just seems out of sync to me. Now I'm thinking ahead when we get to the top. Who's going to be at the top? It's got to be Chappelle, and despite his travail, CK, that's got to be the one too. And Burr's going to rank pretty high, I bet. Those three. I'm getting ahead of myself. Number 20, Sarah Silverman. Very underrated Sarah Silverman. I don't know if it's because of her style or her other appearances, but I'll tell you, every time I put a Sarah Silverman special on the television there, it goes way up my list. So yeah, a lot of respect for 20, Sarah Silverman. 19, Ali Wong. Yeah, really? Again, respect the panel, but yeah. Let's just... I mean, I don't even know if Ali Wong should be on the list, but ahead of Sarah? Just no. 18, Patrice O'Neal. I'm biased here. I never enjoyed this man's company. I found him to be kind of just a jerk. He would just come at people for no reason. Just like he was one of those guys that would mess with people just to see how people would react. Never enjoyed being around Patrice O'Neal. He has been forgotten, but I will tell you, when he was around, all the comedians love Patrice O'Neal. His material is pretty good. So I'm really biased here, and I just don't like the guy. Billboard writes, O'Neal's candor extended to his own mortality. He carried some 300 pounds on his 6'4" frame and suffered from type 2 diabetes. He joked, I'm the leader of the fat people. I'm Malcolm XXL. And then he joked on a Comedy Central special, I got to lose some weight now to stay alive, and that's not enough motivation for me. In October of 2011, his diabetes brought on a stroke. A month later, he had passed away at age 41. Bill Burr produces an annual comedy benefit in memory of Patrice. Some of the people at Patrice's funeral, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, Wanda Sykes, and Jim Norton. Colin Quinn at the wake said, if I somehow could be looking at him in heaven right now and watched him meet God, I know I'd be thinking the same thing everybody else would be thinking. God shouldn't have said that. Now he's going to get hammered by Patrice. That is how Patrice was, and why I didn't really enjoy him. All right, I got to get a break in here, and we'll come back and we'll look at more of the list. This is Billboard's 25 best stand-up comedians of the 21st century so far, number 25 through 16. At number 17, Wanda Sykes. That's interesting. Do you think of Wanda Sykes as a great stand-up? And again, I'll say for the 95th time this episode, I respect this panel, but Wanda Sykes, really? Wanda Sykes was one of the co-hosts on the Oscars the night that you think that Chris Rock was hosting. Remember Will Smith slapped Chris Rock? Wanda Sykes was one of the hosts that night, along with Amy Schumer. Is Amy Schumer going to be on this list ahead of some of the people we've mentioned? She is, isn't she? That's going to be insane when we get there. I don't know. I'm struggling with this. Like, I'm just thinking of random people. Like, is Craig Ferguson going to be on this list? Because I'd take Craig Ferguson over Wanda Sykes any day of the week and twice on Sunday, as they say. So I don't know. 16, Ricky Gervais. That seems low to me. His specials are actually really funny. Billboard writes, Gervais has released 8 comedy specials and created the Office franchise. But the best example of his comedic brilliance is his opening monologue at the 2020 Golden Globes. Yep, legendary, Hall of Fame. So what do you think? Comment in the Facebook group, Daily Comedy News Podcast group. And as they post the rest of the list, I will do a sequel episode to this one. I'm really curious. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Let me just type the word comedian into Google. So it's 21st century. Google is putting in front of me. Chappelle's got to be up there. Burr, CK, they'll all make the list. Mulaney, Jeselnik, Attell. Hopefully Attell's on this list, especially with the people who were quoted. Attell's going to be a sleeper pick. Hopefully Attell's really high. Attell is great. Nate Bargatze. I mean, is Nate great? Amy, Patton Oswalt, Jimmy Carr. I would put Jimmy way up on the list. Hannibal Buress kind of had a moment there. Sam Morril. Will Sam make it? Sebastian Maniscalco. Would they do that? Jim Jeffries could be an interesting pick. All right. So those are just some names to think about, and we'll see who they put up. But just to fly through this again so you can react. 25, Jon Stewart. Yeah, okay. 24, Billy Connolly. 23, Trevor Noah. 22, Jim Gaffigan. Too low in my opinion. 21, Gabe Iglesias. 20, Sarah Silverman. 19, Ali Wong. 18, Patrice O'Neal, which is a good pick, despite me not liking him. 17, Wanda Sykes. 16, Ricky Gervais. All right, that is your comedy news for today. See you tomorrow.